Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. Well, you guys know me, I really don't like double standards. No, I prefer an equal standard, and so I guess in this case, the standard must apply. We all know the line, right? We've heard it a million times. All these corrupt Democrat actors attempting to promote and justify their ridiculously corrupt investigations into the president. They've said it a million times that no one is above the law, not even the president, right? Well, I guess it's time to put that slogan to the test, as now Democrat Attorney General Letitia James, yep, the very same Letitia James who's led a psychotic witch hunt against President Trump, well, she's now being referred to the DOJ for felony mortgage fraud. Yes, you heard that right. Letitia James, who's tried to build her career in the spotlight accusing Donald Trump of falsifying financial documents, is now being accused of doing exactly that in a case of real estate fraud. You literally cannot make this stuff up. It's time for Letitia James to face the same kind of scrutiny that Donald Trump did, because of course, as we know, no one is above the law. Let me show you guys exactly what's going on. We got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. Alright folks, so we've got these two pages, and as you see on screen, this is a criminal referral written to Pam Bondi, making the claim that Letitia James engaged in falsifying documents and fraud.
The Angle has obtained shocking allegations leveled by the Trump administration against New York Attorney General Letitia James. The Federal Housing Finance Agency has sent a criminal referral to the DOJ accusing James of mortgage fraud. In a letter to Attorney General Pam Bondi, Director Bill Pulte says James appears to have falsified records in order to meet certain lending requirements and receive favorable loan terms. He cited a property in Virginia that she's allegedly claimed as her principal residence and a property in New York that she claimed as a 4-unit structure instead of the required, instead of a 5, which Pulte says means she was able to get a different type and more favorable loan.
Now let me break down what's in the document here in the most layman terms possible. Essentially, Letitia James bought a property in Norfolk, Virginia, and then proceeded to lie on her mortgage application, falsely claiming that it was her primary residence, so she could lock in a sweet low interest rate and bypass restrictions that would apply to a secondary home. But here's the thing. She lives in Brooklyn. She works in New York. She's the freaking Attorney General of New York. Her primary residence literally has to be in state. There's even a permit filed in 2024 listing her Brooklyn property as the James residence. She's also filed federal forms in the past, including loan relief and refinancing, listing her Brooklyn home as her primary residence. So that right there begs the question, how the hell did she claim Virginia as her main home just last year? Well, very simply, she lied. She falsified documents to get preferential treatment from lenders. That's a felony. Mortgage fraud, wire fraud, false statements, you name it. And now, of course, why is this such a big deal? Why is it making so many waves online? Well, because this is the exact same thing that she accused Donald Trump of. Remember that case that ended up in a $400 million fine? Remember when Letitia James was threatening the Trump administration with the seizure of their private commercial properties in Manhattan? Yeah, it's pretty much the exact same thing, only in the Trump case, the issue was debatable valuations of luxury real estate that he disclosed to the banks and paid back in full with interest. Valuations that, by the way, were conducted by third parties. But with Letitia James, it's objectively worse. She knowingly falsified her residence to get a sweetheart deal on a mortgage that she didn't qualify for, all while playing the moral authority on national TV as she tried to destroy Donald Trump's business empire over this false claim of fraud. It's absolutely wild. And the craziest part is that this just happened. We're not talking about falsified documents from like 2001. No, just recently in 2024. In other words, she was leading this high-profile case in the midst of an election, accusing Donald Trump of falsifying records and defrauding the banks, which makes absolutely no sense considering he paid the loans back in full. You know, usually in these fraud cases, there has to be a loser. There has to be a monetary loss or monetary damage knowingly inflicted on the victim. But anyways, the whole time that she was running this case, she was engaging in even worse behavior, knowingly falsifying documents. Donald Trump didn't commit fraud. No, Letitia James is the fraud. And now she's got herself in quite the pickle here. The FHAA, a federal housing watchdog, is now asking the Department of Justice to investigate and prosecute Letitia James. And oh, what a moment that would be.
Well, well, well. How the turntables
Oh, it's all backfiring so spectacularly. These Democrats weaponized the justice system in the most grotesque and partisan way possible, using phony lawsuits and prosecutions into political strategy. I mean, they basically admitted at this point.
Every single week, we have a litigation working group where a large group of us, and I'm talking there's maybe 75 members of the House, sit down every single week with the AGs to talk about legal strategy. This is all going on every single week behind the scenes. It is nonstop talk, nonstop introduction of bills and legislation, nonstop being on social media as much as we can without being throttled and without the, crazy analytics, and doing all these things.
And now it's backfiring big time. They're learning a very important lesson. If you're going to launch investigations and prosecutions, well, you better have your facts straight and you better be squeaky frickin' clean. And now, surprise, surprise, well, many of them aren't. And now they're about to FAFO, and I don't want to hear any crying. No whining. Oh, Donald Trump, he's persecuting his political opponents. I don't want to hear a Democrat ever say that. You set the frickin' precedent. Investigate and prosecute your political opponents, right? That's the standard. Well, guess what? That door swings both ways. So like I said, you better be squeaky freaking clean. But clearly many of these clowns aren't, and so what's happening right now is people are taking a deeper look and finding a little bit of dirt. And where in the past, the thought process would have been, well, it's not necessarily the worst thing we've ever seen, and maybe we shouldn't be spending too many resources going after petty stuff like this. Well, the new standard is, F around and find out. FAFO. The simple fact is, the Democrats, I think, made a serious mistake here. They let the genie out of the bottle. And now, well, it seems as though the terms of engagement have essentially changed. You don't get to run a political prosecution campaign against the current president, mock the rule of law, brag about your power to bankrupt your enemies. Oh, we're gonna get him, right, Letitia? Remember that?
It's important that attorneys general representing our respective states stand up and enforce the rule of law. The President of these United States is not above the law.
No matter how rich, powerful, or politically connected you are, everyone must play by the same rules.
Please sue him for us.
Oh, we're going to definitely sue him. We're going to be a real pain in the
You don't get to do that and then play victim when the tables turn. No one is above the law. Letitia James now deserves a full investigation. If you didn't do anything wrong, then you should have nothing to hide. Well, now the tables have totally turned, and it's our turn, I guess you could say, except there's a little bit of a difference. This administration is only launching investigations by following the actual facts. In other words, these investigations have some actual there. They'll have substance to them. They'll be real cases, and if the cases are real, well, the consequences will likely be real as well. Oh boy. This is what you call fast-acting karma. You absolutely love to see it. Anyways, that's pretty much what I got for you guys on this one. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to leave a like and possibly subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.